recording. So welcome everyone. This is Dawn Doherty, and I'm so excited to facilitate this fun session that I'm calling Rewire Yourself for Success. How to create more business, make more money, and develop meaningful relationships. And when I ask people what's going on for you and what do you want more of, these seem to be the areas that they want to do a deep dive in. And I'm going to talk to you about how you can create amazing transformation in a very short period of time so you can be more satisfied in all aspects of your life. So here's what I know, because I'm out there in the world and I'm speaking to business owners, entrepreneurs, and people all day long. And those of you who know me know that I am very enthusiastic and I'm certainly not shy. I know that you either have a problem that you don't know how to solve and you don't know how to solve it on your own, or you have a problem and you don't know what it is. And the way for you to address this is to find somebody who's going to be your mirror, find somebody that you can rely on, who's going to tell you like it is and allow you to create what I called simplified balance. So if you see my new logo at the bottom right, I've created my entire life and program around the word simplified. I believe that life doesn't have to be so complex. I am a former New Yorker, now a West Coast babe. I'm loving living in the Pacific time zone. And I will tell you, this shift of perspective, being out here, I'm a few miles away from Encinitas, which is, you know, crunchy granola, surf capital of the world probably. And I am experiencing the fact that once we get simplified, once we let go of the things that are no longer serving us, once we get super focused on what it is that we really want, so much will come together for us. And I believe the case for simplified balance is looking at your strengths so you can enhance them, and manage your weaknesses so you don't continue to get in your own way. Also, understanding what makes other people tick is key, because we want you to do you. I believe that you don't need to change who you are to be successful in this world. Your challenge is to understand your behavior tendencies, understand your priorities, and also do people reading with everyone who comes within your sphere of influence, so you can meet them where they are and you can together synergistically create results. And I believe having clarity around what you want, what your message is, what you believe in, what you stand for is key. And then get efficient around how you're going to get that word out. So one of the first things I'd like to do here is offer you a poll. And the poll is, how satisfied are you? So I'm going to bring that up on the screen right now. And here's the challenge. I would love for you to identify what areas, and I say areas because there may be more than one, of your life are the most challenging for you. So let me read that to you. Do you find yourself in a soul-sucking career or job and you want to change? If that's the case, check that box. Perhaps you love what you do, but you're not making enough money doing it. Let me know if that's something you're challenged with. And I'm going to allow you all to vote here. How about whether you have a meaningful relationship, and maybe that's something that you want. Or if you are daunted by the financial markets and you want to learn more, what are these areas? Just tell me the areas that you're challenged with and just check the box, okay? So I'm going to launch that poll, and I'm going to have you all tell me what areas you are most challenged with. So please let me know. Do not be shy. And I'll just have you let me know what's going on for you here. Okay. I can't see the poll. Okay, there we go. So let's get that voting in. Great. Yeah, so I'm seeing that most of you are sharing that I love what I do, but I'm not making enough money. And I wish I had a meaningful relationship with somebody to share all the great things that are happening in my life. So that's very, very interesting. And that's what we're going to talk about today. So thank you for sharing. So just the balance equation here, just I'm going to give you a sense of dollars and cents and why being engaged, loving what you do, having a process for monetizing your purpose, why this is so key. Through increased clarity and automated outreach, you're going to have a result where you have ambassadors in your life who are going to help you find your next best client, find that relationship, you know, that you're craving for. And I just made this example for those of you in the real estate world. What would an extra 8 referrals a year, because if 80% of 100 people offer you referrals and at $1 million sale on average, this can be an additional $200,000 in revenue for you. So whether you're a butcher or baker or candlestick maker, as my colleague Lorendi Ruse says, we can have you monetizing what you're doing in a bigger way. We can have you participating in more meaningful relationships. And you know what? I know this works. So I want for you to ask yourself, how much money are you leaving on the table? What relationships are passing you by because you haven't implemented this simplified approach to getting what you really, really want? How do I know this works? Well, 3 years ago, I was at a very low point in my life. I found myself in an unsupportive, loveless marriage, and I'm not pointing fingers here. I take responsibility for all of that. I didn't want it to end because I didn't want to quit, right? I'm this success-driven person. I didn't know where I wanted to live. I was literally roaming the cold streets of New York with a suitcase in one hand and a dog leash in the other. So being the person that I am, the action-oriented person that I am, I decided to turn this around. So I began a daily routine, and I refer to this routine as 4 moves to momentum. I also surrounded myself with positive, loving, kind, and caring people. I remember my dear friend, Rachel Brown, we had a standing date once a week to go to the movies and to see an uplifting movie together. And I am forever grateful for all of the people who showed up for me here. But more than the people that showed up for me here, I really showed up for myself. And this is what my life is like now. I've created multiple streams of income doing what I love. So I'm a professional speaker. Companies pay me to get in front of their employees or their potential next best clients to deliver powerful messages. I also am coaching entrepreneurs and business owners around their behavioral styles through DISC and how to implement a 30-day reset program. I'm living my dream life in San Diego, and I travel to a significant location every single quarter. My last trip was just a couple of weeks ago to Hawaii. And I'm going to Montreal upcoming. I have an incredible intimate relationship with a confident and loving man. And I know that everything that I'm experiencing is possible for you. And the process that I took myself through starts with this. What do you really want? And who or what is getting in your way? Okay, so the first question I want for you to ask yourself is, what do you really want? What is your vision? This, sometimes people refer to all of this as your big why. And I'm challenging you to create a big why that's big enough so you will find your how, okay? What do you really want? And when that big why is big enough, you're going to seek out the method to get it. Why is this important to you? It should be, why is this important to you? That's your value. So what do you really want? I wanted to be in a position where I understood how people work so I can take people on my journey to getting more out of life and to living a purpose-driven livelihood. How will you get it? Seek out a method. I'm going to introduce you to a method today that works, and I really challenge you to start implementing it in your life. What's currently preventing you from having it? And those obstacles, for the most part, are yourself. And we're going to talk about those alibis, those limiting beliefs, and how will you know when you're successful? And that's measuring. So I'm going to challenge you right now. We're going to do a little exercise, and in the chat area, I'd love for you just to share with the group, what is your big why? What is the thing that you really want, and why is it important to you? And we can go to that at the end, because you may want to think about this, but please jot this down. What do you really want, and why is that important to you? So I have a book that I suggest that all of the people that I work with, everybody I come in contact with when I'm public speaking, I introduce this book to people, and it's called Think and Grow Rich. It was written over 80 years ago by Napoleon Hill. He was commissioned by Andrew Carnegie to interview the top successful people during the time. And one of the things that he shines a light on is that there are 6 basic fears that we all live with. The fear of poverty, okay? The fear that you're gonna lose everything that you've ever made for yourself, or you're going to lose your ability to create a livelihood for yourself. The fear of criticism, being in the spotlight and having somebody tell you why you're wrong or why you're doing something wrong. The fear of ill health, the loss of love, being alone, old age and death. And yes, you know, these are sort of dark fears. These are the fears that most people live with. So I have you challenging, when we do some coaching, what your limiting beliefs are. What are the things that you're telling yourself that have you stopping yourself from taking action? And it's super critical for you to know what these limiting beliefs are. When I offer you the DISC assessment, one of the most powerful pages in that 20-page report is your DOT story. And what we have there is about 6 or 7 paragraphs that describe who you are. And from the DISC assessment, we can identify what your limiting beliefs are, how you get in your own way. And together, I work with you to reframe them so you can move forward. What are your alibis? What are the excuses you're giving yourself for not moving forward? It may be, I don't have enough money, or I'm too old, or I need to wait until ... Another area we want for you to get your arms around is, what are you not able to let go of? Are you still holding on to a grudge that you have with someone else? Are you still playing over and over in your mind a situation that you can't move forward from? And I'm going to help you with that. I am a trained hypnotherapist. I also do a modality called theta healing, and I'm going to help you get to the core of what is keeping you from moving forward. I say, if you are holding a grudge, or if you can't forgive someone in your life, you are acting like the prison cell guard to that person who's behind the bars in your life, letting your life pass you by. And then also perfectionism. And I see this so much with driven professionals. They want something to be perfect before they put it out there in the world. And I really, really encourage you to do a little audit around how these aspects are showing up for you, and also get yourself a copy of Think and Grow Rich, listen to it, the workbook. I lead masterminds around these 13 areas that you can drive. So it is the most powerful book. It's the original recipe of self-help and coaching. So let's talk about this, this practice that I put into motion when I decided I needed to turn my life around after what happened to me 3 years ago. And when I determined that it didn't happen to me, it happened for me. It happened for me. I took full responsibility for the situation that I was in, and I started to do very healthy things. So the first thing I challenge you to do is start moving your body and start cleansing. Find an activity that you enjoy. I have a small dog, and during those dark days in Brooklyn, I would put a leash on my dog. It didn't matter if it was 20 degrees outside. We would go to Fort Greene Park. I had my little earphones in, and I would be listening to Audible. I'd be listening to all of the books that helped me create the curriculum that had me transforming, and the books that have my clients going to the next level. Drink more water. Consider a cleanse. Every single month, I do a 3-day cleanse just to get my awareness, my sharpness intact. Find a 30-day learning curriculum that will have you taking the inspired forward motion. When people join with me, I give them specialized plans. Whether you want that meaningful relationship, you want to monetize what you're doing in a bigger way, whatever it is, I offer you a specialized plan. I offer you emails that you take action on daily so you can move towards what you want. Commit to a 15-minute silence practice. If you haven't started meditating, there are some great apps out there. Lou, who's on the phone, he introduced me to a great one, and I'm sure he can type that in the chat box here during this session. I also got trained in transcendental meditation, and on a daily basis, I sit down and I do a 20-minute practice. I have a watch, an Apple Watch, and there's a breathe application on the watch, and you can simply just give yourself 5 minutes of breathing and have the watch take you through that. Journal what you're feeling when you find yourself not at peace, and please take full responsibility for turning this around. I believe that in this lifetime, every bad thing, every daunting situation, every setback that we are addressed with is a gift for us to reclaim our personal power. So how do we do that? We have some tea. So the TEA process is something that I have my clients practicing and making second nature in their lives. So TEA starts with thoughts. What are your automatic thoughts? when you respond to stress. So a situation may be, I always get cut off when I'm speaking. The automatic thought may be, people must think I have nothing good to say. How does this feel in your body? So that automatic thought that has you responding to stress in a detrimental way will feel like when you take two fingers and point those two fingers in your ribs. Just feel what that feels like right now. So that's what I want for you to understand, that your less than thoughts will have you feeling pain in your body, stress. And I've had workshops where people were clenching their fists and they didn't even realize it, because we do this automatically. And when we have these feelings, it does not allow us to move forward effectively. So how do we create inspired forward motion? We reframe those thoughts. So when we reframe that thought with, I have great things to say and my feedback is valuable, that feels good in my body. And instead of feeling like you should just be quiet when somebody ignores you, you can say, let's press the pause button here. I have a few words to add, and I'd really like some time to share my ideas. So that's just a situation and exercise to take you through TEA, and I encourage you to make this a practice in your daily life. So another practice I want to introduce to you, and this is all of the foundation before you go out and become productive. If being productive was so simple, the world would be filled with billionaires. There's so many books out there that will tell you what to do. It's been my experience that the clients that I work with, the people that I speak to, have to get this personal awareness in place before they can feel good around taking action. And I hope I demonstrated that with the TEA. So how do you get yourself to that place of peace? How do you, on a daily basis, retrieve more of your personal power when you are faced with difficult people, difficult situations? The first thing I want for you to know, and I call this the 4 steps to solace, every person in this world deserves peace. If you're not at a place of peace, I want you to stop whatever you're doing and step through the 4 steps to solace. So the first thing is, if it is in front of me, it's inside of me. I recommend a book called Zero Limits by Dr. Joe Vitale, and I have my clients listen to this over Audible. It's super, super powerful. And one of the things we do is take responsibility for every daunting situation, every setback, every annoying person or hurtful person that is in front of you. I believe that everybody in my life, those people that I've experienced bad situations with, I hired them previously to be there in my life, to read the lines that they needed to line, to act the role that they needed to act, so I can recover more of my personal power. So if it's in front of me, it's inside of me. I forgive the way I feel. Number 2, I forgive the other person and the situation, because this is not bad. It's neutral. It's not something that I should avoid. It's something that I should dig right into and derive my personal power from. So how do we do that? How can I see this differently? So the person perhaps who is cut off often, they can say, wow, how do I cut others off? How can I be more assertive in a way that's aligned with my personality style? Perhaps I can get help around fierce conversation. Fierce conversation is also an area that I help my clients with, and I help them to become more commanding in their language so they line up more clients, so they attract people who share their values. And then Zero limits is based on an ancient Hawaiian practice called Ho'oponopono. And there is a line which seals this beautiful practice, and it's, I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you. I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you. And you are giving yourself gratitude and love. You're telling yourself that it's okay for the way you feel. And you're having gratitude around this confrontation, whatever this issue is in front of you. So I would just love for you to share in the chat box. Please let me know what it is you think about what I just shared. Okay, calm. Lou is asking, calm. Let me know what you think so far, because this will be very meaningful for everyone. Okay, so I've created what I refer to as accelerators for simplified balance. And I know it's very hard to read this poster that I have here. Each of you on the call, I'd love for you to email me, dawn@dawnd.com, and I'll send you this poster. And they are the 11 tips to find simplified balance. I encourage you to print it out on an 11 by 17 piece of paper and have this in your office, in your home. I believe that simplicity is a team sport, and that's why I want to acknowledge you for being on this webinar. And I'm going to invite you to be with me. I hold accountability sessions once a week, and if you truly want to understand what your block is, what that obstacle is that's keeping you from realizing what it is that you really want, I invite you to set up a conversation with me, and you can email me for times for that. So this is a gift that I have for you. And everything here, once you have these working for you, and once you have a 30-day program for moving towards that better relationship, that better business, whatever it is that you have decided you wanted, once you have all of this working for you, there's no way it will not manifest for you. There's no way. Because when we are aware, when we are giving, when we show up for ourselves, miracles happen. And I'm living proof of this. I guarantee you that there are miracles for you that are just waiting for you. Thank you for sharing. Thumbs up, Lisa says. Lisa, I am going, what I'm going to do is I'm going to email this PDF for everyone. And you can print that out on an 11 by 17 page. It's gorgeous. I had some amazing designers create it for me. And really it's what's in my soul and what it is that I live by. Doris is sharing, Ho'oponopono is life-changing. And hello, thank you, thank you, thank you. Yes, please, guys, chat. I love hearing from you. Whatever it takes, okay? So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to bring up another poll, and I'm going to ask you, what will you commit to doing in exchange for what you really want? Tony Robbins, and Lou knows this. I love Tony. I've participated in 2 Unleash the Power Withins. I've walked over the coals twice, so I know that anything's possible. And one of Tony's biggest quotes is, if you do what you've always done, you'll get what you've always gotten. So if you do what you've always done, you'll get what you've always gotten. You just need to identify one little thing in your life that you want to shift. And by identifying that one little thing, Tony talks about, you know, the golfer who just changes an angle of their swing by 1 degree, how that ball goes in that other direction in such a big way because they're at the radius of the success of that golf swing, right? So if you always done if you do what you've always done, you'll get what you've always gotten. Starting today, I want you to commit to doing something different, okay? And I'm gonna bring up a poll shortly. Another great man, Albert Einstein, said that the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. So I want for you to stop the insanity. Stop the insanity. If somebody remembers the commercial, the woman who used to say that, stop the insanity, type it in the chat box here. I'll be very surprised and I'll give you a nice little gift. So let's get right to the poll. Okay. And I'm going to stop that sharing and I'm going to go to the new poll. Okay. All right, launching the poll. What practice will you commit to? My attendees, you're all now viewing the questions. You may answer more than one. Reframing your thoughts, practicing the TEA. I'm seeing a lot of you are saying, get specific about what I really want and what I'm willing to do for it. Wonderful. The 4 moves to momentum. I'm seeing everybody is sharing that they're loving all of the various things that the techniques that I just shared with you today. Audit who I spend time with, yes. Jim Rohn, who is Tony Robbins' mentor, who was Tony Robbins' mentor, his famous quote was, "We become the top 5 people we surround ourselves with." We become the top 5 people we surround ourselves with. So audit who you spend your time with. If these people are negative, if they're critical, if they're weighing you down, divorce them from your life. Now, if they're family members, I know you have some sort of obligation, and just don't go down that rat hole of drama with them. Being in a way in your life where there's no drama is super powerful. And then mostly all of you, seek out coaching and accountability. It is so key. When you join with me, I hold your hand and I show you all of the things that took me years to learn and deliver that to you in a matter of 30 days. So you get further faster, and I believe that accountability is key. On a daily basis, I offer you positive action to take. On a weekly basis, you meet with my hand-selected group of clients, and in a mastermind accountability session, we're there for each other. We're on a Facebook group, elevating each other every day. So I'm just going to share the results. The winner was get specific about what I really want and what I'm willing to do for it. What I really want and what I'm really to do and what I'm willing to do for it. So, you know, in the chat, if some of this is coming to you as you're on the webinar here, just share it with the group. And I'm going to look to the chat if any of you want to say hello or just say something, just let me know in the chat and I'll open the mic up for you. If you have anything you want me to coach you through, or if you have a question about what it is that I've shared with you thus far, just let me know in the chat box. So here's what I want for you to do next. Here's the wrap up of what I just shared with you. Get specific on what you really want. The kind of programs I'm taking people through right now, I have real estate agents, and I love this vertical because I've been a broker since 2001, and I've helped create a powerful real estate information website that was recently sold to Zillow. I understand the ins and outs of your day, and I also understand your frustration. So I've created a 30-day program for organizing your contacts, how you can follow up to line up ideal clients. Career, perhaps what you're doing is stressful, or you are doing all the wrong things. So I work with people and organizations so they can become more purpose-driven, so teams can become more cohesive and synergistic. And I offer DISC and a whole suite of assessments that help people get to the next level. Relationships. Being in a toxic relationship, whether it's your intimate relationship or friendships or even relationships with people who are in your family, will bring you down. So I help people in understanding their values, what it is they want, so they can call in the one or the ones that will serve as ambassadors, helping you to move you to what it is that you really want. So email me if you've enjoyed this webinar, and I'm going to go and I'm going to look at the chat box before I say goodbye, but email me and tell me how this was for you. You have an opportunity to set up a complimentary consultation, and I do these often, and they're all about you, no strings attached. I have dedicated my life to helping people step into their magnitude, helping people to realize their purpose, recover their personal power, and live life on their terms. Because you know what, we're not here to collect toys, to build billions and millions of dollars in our bank accounts. We can take that with us. What we can leave behind, our legacy, is how we demonstrate what it is our power is all about, and how we can get other people on board to looking at their bigness and committing to their why. Get that poster that I talked to you about and take action on those 30 steps, those 11 steps. And then, as I said, I have a 30-day process. I don't care if you join mine. If you don't want to join me on mine, find one, but commit to it, whatever it is, because one key area in your life that you commit to will lead to change in all of the different areas of your life. Even if you say, I'm going to go to the gym every single day, whether it's a yoga class, whether it's just stretching, whether it's taking spin, for the next 30 days, I'm going to go to the gym. You're going to find that so many other aspects in your life will shift, and you'll become more confident, decisive, satisfied, and a more successful person. So this is the foundation of how I changed things around for myself, and I've dedicated my life to working with people to do this. I'm going to look at that chat to see what you all have to say here. What is the best way to make a difficult decision? Is it by getting really clear on what you want? Thank you for asking that, Doris. What is the best way to make a difficult decision? Is it by getting clear on what you really want? Well, the first filter I place that decision through is, number one, is this something, if I decided to go with this, do I have all the resources to take action on it? If this is something super, super difficult, then I know that it's coming from a place of ego rather than being a divinely appointed opportunity. So that's number one. The second thing I take myself through is I have a meditation, and if you email me, Doris, I'll get that meditation to you. It's called the Decision-Making Meditation, where I look at the alternatives, and then being in a very relaxed state of brainwave mode, and we do that through meditation, I explore the alternative that maybe isn't one of the options that's in front of me. And that's where meditation really comes into play here, quieting your mind, okay? So I hope that helped. Getting really clear on what you want is key too. Getting very clear on your values. So if it's a decision to take on a new client and that client isn't kind, or perhaps is somebody who is not coachable, I'll know to pass on that. So as you get more aware of who you are and what drives you, what your strengths are and what your challenges are, and again, through DISC, you can understand these in record time. Lou says, thank you. Lisa, thank you. I will be back at you with some times that we can speak. And everyone else out here who was part of this amazing experience, I just want to wish you a life. I remember Robin Leach back in the day, champagne wishes and caviar dreams. Your best life is 30 days away. And I really want the best for everyone. We are here to help each other out. Ask for help. That's one of the big ways we get in our own way. Have an amazing rest of the week. And I will see you soon on the next webinar. Bye now.